Good morning, friends. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. Um, we celebrated I would say she's my middle grandchild, if there's a middle of the 10, her 12th birthday yesterday. So we had some fun celebrating her. And then she's off to sixth grade camp today. So she's on the road to go enjoy camp. Good morning, Froggy. Good morning, Glow. How's everyone doing? So I had kind of a rough weekend health-wise, but I'm finally feeling a little bit better. um, I had good morning, Don. How are you, my friend? I had well, I've had a cold. So I had this sinus infection thing and a cold and blah blah blah. That's finally pretty much resolved. But on was it Friday? I've lost track of the days. I think it was Friday. I was getting ready to go to dinner with my husband, and all of a sudden, this excruciating pain on my lower back hit me. And I knew what it was. I knew what it was right away because it's happened to me before. Called the doctor anyway, had a video visit, and he said, yes, you need to get yourself to the emergency room, get some pain meds, and get scanned to make sure those kidney stones are passable. So I've had kidney stones in the past. I've had them 2 or 3 times before. So I know exactly what they feel like. And I just didn't want to go to the emergency room because really all they can do for the kidney stones is give you pain meds to manage the pain. And they give some really good pain meds. And then they do a CT scan to make sure they're a size that you can pass. Because if they're too big, then they'll break them up to smaller pieces. Oh, good. I like that. Gazebo tent. That sounds like fun, Don. We're following each other. Is someone else live this afternoon? You know what? I don't know who's live this afternoon. But yeah, so I had kidney stones and my husband said, "Do you want me to take you?" And I said, "No." Um, Luckily I had some pain meds here from the last bout, so I just took those. Try to get as much rest as I could. You can't really rest with kidney stones because you can't get comfortable no matter if you're sitting, standing, laying down, laying on your back, laying on your side, laying on your belly. You're not comfortable. So I was pretty much awake all Friday night. Um, Finally, about I would say 2 in the morning, I passed one stone, which yay! But the pain was still there, which meant I had not passed them all. So then I um, took some more pain meds, did crafty fun with friends live on Saturday, which I probably shouldn't have done. I probably should have just stayed in bed. But for me, when I make a commitment to do something short of actually being in the hospital, I stick to my commitments. So I did that. Um, and the meds started to wear off towards the end of the stream. So I got off when they were wrapping up and then took more meds, passed another stone. Pain was still there, which means there was more. Um, so eventually, I think I've passed them all because I didn't have any pain by yesterday afternoon, which was great. I Pain is not my friend. So I think I'm doing better. Here, drinking lots of tea can cause them. I don't drink tea. There's different kinds of stones. So they sent me to a urologist the first time I got them to figure out. And the ones I have are calcium stones. So apparently I have too much calcium in my body, which is funny because my mom has osteoporosis. So when I asked the doctor, well, I want to make sure I have enough calcium because I don't want to get osteoporosis. He says, okay, but you're going to get kidney stones. And I thought, well, that's not going to happen. And he said, we've checked your levels. Your calcium is very high. You don't need to worry about osteoporosis quite yet. So he said, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So hopefully we don't get to that bridge because I'm sure what happened is I've been drinking a lot more milk as of late and eating a lot more cheese. So thus more calcium. I don't take supplements, but I don't know. I guess my body just makes calcium pretty well. Anyway, yes, the pain is awful. Welcome, Linda. Uh, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe when it doesn't absorb the excess, it turns them into stones. I had gallstones too, but they removed my gallbladder, so that's a non-issue now. But yeah, because of the amount of calcium in my body, I just developed stones. So that was my fun weekend, but I was able to celebrate my granddaughter's birthday, which was fun. Now, I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to anyone. Did I miss anyone? I hope not. But enough of my complaining about pain. Um, we're doing a card today using Color Cube card number 6. And these are really pretty colors. I like them. I would never think to do a combination of pinks and browns. I don't know why, but they do look beautiful together. So that's why I'm glad I did get these color cubes because it gives me ideas for color combinations that I would not come up with all on my own. So if you look on the back, here it tells you what the colors are. So you can kind of try and find something similar. And then there's like different shades of it. So I thought, I haven't played with my distress inks in a long time. My little cubes. Um, yeah, my vitamin D is always low. So about once a year, I have to get like prescription vitamin D, and they give me that, which is a super high level. And then they say, okay, take a daily supplement. And I start to, and then I forget. Yes, that happened to my friend. Sometimes they're just too big, and breaking them up with like it's a laser therapy, that won't work. I had that happen to a friend of mine, and they had to go in and remove them. So that's no fun. Um, let's see. Yes, it is beautiful. These are beautiful colors, you guys. I love them. So then I thought, okay, well, with pink and green and brown, I really probably should do a floral, right? That's what my kidney stones, too much dairy products. I had to cut back. Haven't had one. Yeah. I had done a real good morning, by the way, Gwen. I had done a real good job of cutting back my calcium, like drinking so much milk and eating too much dairy. So I had done a really good job. But lately, I didn't pay attention and I started drinking more milk and eating more cheese and, all the stuff. So my own fault. So anyway, I thought because of these colors, I would do a floral. So I brought in this stamp set from Altenew that I have. I love their florals. They're gorgeous. And then I have the stencil, where is it, to go with it so that I can stencil the colors on here. I thought that would be fun. So let's start by deciding, and I've used this stamp set probably a good dozen times. I really do like it. So my inclination is to use this larger stamp set on the corner here and this, image on the corner and then the smaller one here. Or do I just do it along one side? Maybe I do it along one side, that longer one. Although I do have a bigger floral. Oh, it's in the garage. I didn't bring that one in from Simon Says Stamp. But let me think. Let me think what I want to do here. Maybe I'm going to do this because you can see I've used the larger one quite a bit. I'm going to use the smaller one today. And while I am on the mend from this cold, I still randomly get these coughing fits, and that's just part of uh, the residual effects of COVID. I think I'll do that. Then I can put a sentiment here on the corner, right? Yeah. So let me get that laid out. And I don't know that I've actually used this image. So let me kind of rub the oils, manufacturing oils off of there. Oh, sounds good, Dawn. Enjoy your garden. Hi, Gwen. Did I say hi already? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Hi, Cece. So, let's see. Ink. I'll bring in some of my Gina K ink. I'll put these colors right up there so I can kind of. And I did pick some colors that I think go well with that color palette. So I have worn lipstick, festive berries, rustic wilderness, gathered twigs, and ground espresso. So hopefully those will be good colors. I think they're close enough. You don't have to do exactly what's on the color cube card. And I've had a very productive morning this morning, friends. I had my annual mammogram, which if you haven't done one yet, oh, you're missing out on so much fun. Then from there, I went to Home Depot to get a few things for my craft room because my husband's going to put a pegboard up on one of the wall behind me. So I needed to get a few things. And then came home and started to kind of gather my supplies for today's live. All righty. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I put a video out yesterday. Excuse me. I'm going to stamp a couple of these just in case I have time. The video yesterday was the little mini notebooks that I made for my granddaughter because she starts working with students today in the after school program. She's so excited. She's just nervous about what grade level she'll get because the school she got assigned to has from TK, which is transitional kindergarten here in California. So it's for 4-year-olds, I think 3-year-olds too, 3 and almost 4-year-olds. And that it goes all the way up to 8th grade. So she was like, oh my God, Grandma, what if I get 8th graders? And I said, well, never let them see you sweat. Don't let them know that they scare the bejeebers out of you and you'll be fine. So hopefully she doesn't get 8th graders. Sometimes the middle school ages can be rough. She shadowed a coach, after school program coach last week, and she was, seeing all the different age groups. But the school she shadowed at, which is funny, is the school where my daughter works. And so she shadowed there, and she was like, oh, Grandma, the 6th graders are awful. I said, well, yes, this time of month they have spring fever. They've done their AGE coursework, which AGE is adolescent growth education. So then they think they know everything about being teenagers and they act up because they know they're almost done and then they'll go on to middle school next year. So I told her, yeah, 6th graders can be rough. And she was like, but the little ones are so sweet. And I said, yes, they are. The little itty ones are very sweet. And it's not to say the 6th graders are not sweet. You can have some really kind ones, but sometimes, their little know-it-all attitude gets in the way. Hi, Elisa. Welcome. Is it Elisa or Alyssa? Hard eye or soft eye? Hi, Christina. Welcome. Oh, thanks. Yeah, she loved them. Oh, I'm using it's a waffle flower, sticky mat. So I'm gonna pull it out to stencil to hold my paper in place too. I keep saying I'm gonna order another one so that I can just leave this one put in my Misty, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe today. Who knows? Maybe today's the day I order it. What happens is I get so busy with everything else that I forget, that I say, oh, I need to order this. And I started writing things down. At least I did that. I wrote down that I needed new, the magnetic plate for my mini Empress. And so I'm starting to write things down, but I don't always. I don't always. Now, I'm not going to spray this with cleaner today, but oh, maybe I should. Where's my cleaner? Yes, the middle schoolers are awful. High schoolers aren't terrible, and the kids kinder through 5th grade aren't terrible. It's that middle group. Oh, they just I don't know. Their hormones are going wacko, and they think they know everything, and I don't know. What's funny is, I've run into former students, and, like, when they would first leave to go to the middle school, because when I started working at the school district, I worked at an elementary school as a school secretary. And the middle school that our kids would feed into was right next door. I mean, like the fence, but divided our schools. So they would go to middle school and they would come back and tell me, Miss Olea, the ladies in the office there are not nice like you. And it's not that I was nice. I don't know, I was like their mother. Like they knew if I scolded them, it's because they were doing something they shouldn't have done. And I don't know. They were like my kids. And it's funny because my mom was an instructional assistant for the same district for many years. And when she would run into her students, when we were out and about, because we lived in the same community that she worked in, they would run up to her and give her a hug and teacher, hi. And I would get so upset because, she'd be like, well, they're like my kids. And I'm like, well, they're not your kids. But once I was an adult and once I had those kids running up to me out in the community, I realized, yeah, they are. So, I used to say that I had 504 kids, 4 that I gave birth to and 500 that I cared for Monday through Friday. But they were they were my kiddos that I did my best to take care of. But they would come back and complain, and then they would say, "We're so sorry for how we acted," and all the after stuff. Okay, now should have. Let's see. Let me see. I should read this because these are actually etched. Okay, so this is stencil number 2. This is number 1. So this one I can put right there and it'll work on that flower. And see if I use the sticky grid, I can stick this there and I don't have to tape it down. And then I'm going to I brought in my smaller brushes so that I don't have to tape that off. But let me see. I'm going to get the guide here real quick because that helps me to know like the layers, how the layer, in fact, hold on. Here's one I had done before. So I can see that the first layer is the lightest, the second the medium, and then the third layer is the darkest. So I'm going to start with the lightest, which is Worn Lipstick. And we'll just see how this goes. Yeah, the high schoolers not bad. They're okay. It can be rough, and they bring their work home with them, so it's rough. Oh, welcome, Sandy. Thank you. Oh, thank you for reminding everyone. If you like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs up and maybe share it out so we can have some more crafty friends join us. And I'm sorry if I missed saying good morning to anyone. I don't know if they currently make it for the mini Misty, but I have one in my mini Misty as well. Let me grab it and show it to you. So here's my mini Misty, and yeah, I have the sticky mat in here. And at first it bothered me when things like my mats got stained, but you know what? That's fine. That means I have some fun inking things up, and that works. All right, let's start. Let me see. Although, wait a minute. I'm just going to go for it. Just go for it. If it doesn't work, luckily I stamped several of these so I can redo. And this is where I start to get quiet because I'm like focused on my ink blending. Did I say good morning, Cordelia? I probably didn't. Good morning, Cordelia. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning. Who am I missing? Alyssa. Hi, too. Good morning to anyone that I missed. Oh, well, it's legal here in California, although you still have to be 18, so not for them. All the elementary teachers are saying, how do you stand the high schoolers? All of us high school teachers are saying, yeah, you know, my sister used to ask me, I don't know how you do your job because my sister's a teacher. She was a preschool teacher, so she had the itty bitty ones, the 3-year-olds. And so she would tell me, I don't know how you can do your job at a desk, at a computer. And I couldn't do that. And I was like, well, I don't know how you do your job because I couldn't be in a classroom full of kids. So everybody has their own niche of what they can do and what they cannot. Mine, I was okay with a computer. Okay. So then I said I was going to get the guide out and I didn't because I got distracted with that. So let's see. I'm wondering if I could have just used the other stencil. That's fine. Okay. Then I'm going to go to this one. The only thing is, like, I stamped it at an angle, is figuring out which way it fits. Usually it's pretty easy if Yvette can get her thought process together. That's not it. That must be the other flower. I bet it was this other stencil I should have used. This is probably the larger flower. Let's see. This is number 3, and it says B. So is B, where is it? Sometimes they mark the stamp sets. Maybe not. I'm facing the right direction now because I have the wording facing up. Why is this not matching up? Right? I do have it facing the right direction. Yeah. Let's see. Would this have been the right flower here? No, I was right with the first stencil. Give me that one back. Let's go with this section next. No. Yes. No. Maybe so. Oh, that's probably it. Yeah. All right. So then I'll go in with a darker festive berries. Or maybe, no, I'm just going to go darker with a warm lipstick, and then with the next stencil, I'll go with the festive berries. So let me go back in and I'll just go a little darker, like more pressure in my festive berries. I mean, what is this? Warm lipstick. What did I say? And I've had these distress cubes for years, you guys, and I don't pull them out often enough. I need to play with these more. Like sometimes I'll see new ink lines come out and it's like, "Oh, I want to buy that." But no, I don't need more inks. I have the full line of oxides, all the distress cubes, the full line, I believe, of Gina K, including her newest colors. And then I have like random I have Better Press inks. I have um oh, the positively saturated ones from Simon Says. I have enough inks. So many inks. Oh, I didn't get this piece right. Um, readjust. But anyway, I have enough inks. No more inks for me. I just have to remind myself of that when I decide to, when I'm watching a video and it's like, oh, look at that stuff. How pretty. I need that. And then I have to say, no, I don't need it. I want it, but I don't need it. um, yeah, not legal. These are waffle flower. I think they're waffle flower. Yeah, waffle flower shader 1 plus. So I got the set of all the colors. And so because they're double-sided, I bought the double-sided ones. They have ones that are just one brush on one side, but I got the double-sided so I could make one side for dye inks and one side for oxides. And I used my labeler to mark which side is for oxides. So I would know what was what. Okay, I'm gonna do this one in festive berries. How's that? Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I got these. I have the bigger blending brushes, but I tend to pull those out. So normally, like with that big area, I would use the bigger blending brushes, but because I didn't want to have to mask off surrounding areas, I just decided to pull in these tiny ones just to make my life a little easier. A little, a little bit easier. Then this one. Let's try and get this part lined up. And I should be cleaning these, so if there's any ink on the back, let me get my alcohol. So usually I'll just spray these with alcohol to clean them because it cleans the ink right off and it dries quickly. So it won't be wet when I put it back on my sticky mat. Once I pick it up. I just kind of run my finger there and make sure. Oh, looks like I bent my stencil. Make sure it's dry. Okay, so then this part. Here we go. Trying to get it lined up again. Is it the right way? Stencil 1, yes. Think it's right. Here. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so I'm going to go in with, what was this again? Festive berries. You lurk away, my friend. That's fine. Weekly infusion. Oh, that doesn't sound like fun. Go sit up. Okay, thank you, Linda. Have a good day. Um, yeah, infusions are not fun. When my father-in-law was still with us, at some point I had to go give him a daily. Um, it was kind of, I guess, like an infusion of some really super strong antibiotics because he had such a bad infection on his foot that he was at risk of amputation, and he had already had one leg amputated, so we were trying to save the other. And I remember one doctor went in there and was like, "Nope, we're just going to amputate." And I said, "No, you're not." And I called for his doctor, and she'd said, "Okay, but we can try and save that foot, but there's only about a 10% chance you can save it." I said, "Good, there's a chance. That's what you're saying. There's a chance." And we did. We did not have to amputate that leg. We were able to save that and get the infection to go away. Um, but I would have to go every day. I would go at my lunchtime from work, go. He had a PIC line that I injected the medication into. Should not be using a microfiber cloth on this because this one has such fine detail. But I had to do that for, I think it was for about 2 or 3 weeks, but it worked. We saved his leg. And he was so funny. He would say, "Here comes my nurse." And my mother-in-law will say that too. "Oh, here's Nurse Yvette." And I'm not a nurse. I don't know how nurses do it. I could not be a nurse by any means. In fact, I hate the smell of hospitals. I just can't stand it. I'm going to use some of this. What's this one? Gathered twigs right here. And I'm sitting at an angle, you guys. I did not line that up correctly. Now I'm full of excuses. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right? Okay, so I used all the areas of stencil 1. Let's see what's on stencil 2. Is it the leaves? Yes, it's these leaves. Should really stand up so I can see overhead, but that would require me moving from this chair, and I'm still dealing with a little bit of um, congestion. Not too much, but a little. So I get dizzy if I look up, down. Oh, almost at the wrong side. Okay. So this is rustic wilderness. Now here I'm going to be careful because really that flower I want pink. So I'm going to try and be real careful here. I was so optimistic. I stamped 4 of these panels. I'll be lucky if I get 1 done, you guys. Takes me forever to stencil. I mean, stenciling's easy, right? But sometimes it just takes me a minute. This is where this small blending brush kind of comes in handy because I can get pretty close and still be okay. All right. And I want to do the one lipstick for that one. So my plan today is to go through some bins to take to donation, some stuff we have in the garage. So hopefully I can get that done today because that will make me feel better about having brought in a lot of my stuff. I'll go through everything and kind of figure out what I can get rid of. Nope, I don't think I need that one. Let me look at stencil number. What's this one? That's number 5. Where's number 4? 6. What did I do with 3? Oh, I think I put it out of my way. Nope, that's 1. Oh, 3 is the one I just used, right? Was that 2? No, that's 2. What did I do with 3? It's 3. Here it is, 3. Yeah. Use that. I don't need that. So let's go to 4. I think I might need glasses for seeing up close pretty soon. I don't need them for distance, but because I can see, I mean, I do need them for distance. I don't need them for up close normally, but I think I might pretty soon. Here's number 5. Is that this section? Trying to find. This section here that I didn't ink blend. Here, let's do the center. Let's do the center here for now. And nope, there's another piece for the center somewhere. What's funny is the first time I pull out a stencil, or first time after I haven't used it for a while, I have to stop and think what goes where. After that, I'm pretty good about figuring it out and knowing which stencil goes where. But not always. Here. No, this is for that larger flower. I'm sure of it. I'm positive. 6 goes this way. This is probably for that larger flower too. I think this goes there. I don't know. It's going to work one way or another. Whoop. But these sections, why can't I find that? It has to be this one. Right? Has to be. Oh, yep, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, so those are the leaves for that little bunch of flowers. I think sometimes my brain doesn't make all the connections it needs to. It's called, I used to tease my friends that were retired before me and tell them, you have retirement brain. You're not thinking the way you used to when you worked. And they would just kind of chuckle, say, yup. And we like it that way. We like retirement brain because that means we're retired. And now I get it. Yep, it's retirement brain. And I'm going to go with this darker brown for the center there. Right here. This darker brown was ground espresso. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Oh, that looks pretty, right? I like it. I'm going to move all these stencils aside for now. I'll clean them in a minute. In a minute. All right. So then I should have stamped the sentiment while it was in my MISTI, but I did not. So I'm going to go back and stamp that sentiment, and then I'm going to die cut it And I thought I would die cut it using one of my, I have these postage stamp edge frames from Simon Says Stamp, and I like the look of a postage edge frame. Now, do I want it that big? Do I want it a little bit smaller? I think I might do the smaller one. So with that in mind, let me figure out, um, maybe wishing you a happy day. And then yesterday, you guys, I felt so guilty. I did not, I had planned on for every one of my grandbabies' birthdays this year going live as I make their card on their birthday, but I just couldn't yesterday. And I feel bad for my baby. She liked the card she got, but happy we just happy day. Let me get happy stamped on there first. Let me get this inside my mini Misty. Let's do that. I'm just wasting time here, guys. Humming and hawing, but that's how I actually craft. When I'm making a card, which you guys don't see on the videos because of course I edit them and cut out a lot of the wasted time, is me humming and hawing about where I'm going to place a sentiment or what sentiment I'm going to use or what color ink I'm going to use. Yeah, lots of humming and hawing. Okay, let me put this back on here so I know where I should place my sentiment. Happy. Okay. It's a little crooked, so let me straighten that out. Why is it still crooked? You know, I just need to get, I did order myself, I had like a gift card for Amazon. I ordered myself a little tea ruler, a 6-inch one. That should be coming today, later today. So maybe that'll help me line up my sentiments. Happy. So on Wednesday, you guys, trying to figure out what we should do. I think I might play with another card from the color cube because I need to get through these cards or at least get through them faster than I am getting through them right now. Because oh man, it's taking me forever. If I'm only doing, you know, 1 or 2 a month, clearly that's going to take me more than my lifetime to get through those cards because there's I think 500. Okay. So then I'm going to do wishing you a happy day. Okay, wishing you, put it right side up. My hand's slippery. Sorry, guys. And then I'm so proud of myself, you guys. On Friday, before the kidney pain, I actually went and got a manicure. I actually treated myself. I don't do that often, but I actually did. And it was fun. It was nice. I got like a full on like sugar scrub and all the fun stuff. Like Stamp the wishing you a little crooked. The stamp went down a little. That's okay. That's okay. The only one that notices is me. Nobody else knows. Except you guys. Okay, let me set this aside and move my inks and move all this out of my way because it's in my way. And we'll bring in my mini emphasis. How's that? Okay. So then what I'll need is to kind of, whoa, I almost grabbed the wrong size. Put this where I want it on the right plate. And maybe tape it down there so it doesn't shift with a magnet. So let me get some washi tape. Wishing you, go over just a little there. All right. So then put that down and let's run this through. And did it cut all the way through? Looks like it did. Okay. Gently pull away the washi so it doesn't rip my cardstock. Yay! Oh, I love the way that looks. Okay. Where's my trash can? All right. So then I brought in some panels here that are already cut, and there was a nice dark brown. I don't have too much dark brown cardstock, but I have this one. So wouldn't that look pretty right there? Oh, that'll look so pretty. Now, should I cut the brown one with the larger postage stamp edge die or leave it with a straight edge? What do you guys think? Should we do a poll? Let's do a poll. Give me a second. Oh, have fun with your Stitching with Friends event. In-person events are way, way more fun. Who's taking it? Still mess it up after. Oh yeah, I heard that has really bad side effects. But some people can tolerate it. Use a color cube for Christmas cards. Ooh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, let me do the poll. Look at me just thinking here about. Let me go back. I don't even have my live up so that I can create one because that would require me thinking. Okay. And so we're adding a poll. So do we want postage edge or straight edge? Ready, set, go. And you guys tell me. So it's for this brown cardstock. Do I do a postage edge or a straight edge to layer this, our ink blended panel onto? Why am I upside down? Okay. Oh, that turned out so pretty. Yeah, I like it. Might go over. See how there's some white in the center there? I think I'm going to grab my blending brush with a little bit of this ink left on it. Just go over the center to bring in more of that camel shade. Okay. All right, let me take a look at that poll, guys. All right, I'm going to end the poll, friends. So, wait, there's 12 of you watching, only 3 of you voted. I'm going to give it another few seconds if you want to get your vote in. Postage edge or straight edge? A few more minutes. Not minutes, a few more seconds. All right, I'm going to end it. Okay, guys? And with 67%, it is going to be postage edge. Okay, here we go. And I usually cut into my magnetic plate, but because this is the last one I have, I'm not going to cut into it. And I got an email. I think it was from Anna Griffith. I could be wrong. That there's going to be a temporary increase in prices due to all the stuff going on in the economy. So I have to make this do for a minute. It moved. That's why I cut into my magnetic plate, because then it doesn't move. It stays put. No. No, no. This is going to make me mad. Don't get frustrated, Yvette. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to run that through real quick. Okay. Got that one done. I'm going to move these plates out of my way. Probably move my machine out of my way. Okay. That does look pretty. Wishing you a happy day. And then that's going on a white card base that I do have here. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know if I want the white card base. Please hold. Excuse me. Let me get this other cardstock out. Oh, yeah. Not the white. Look at this. Doesn't that look better? This is, I don't know what color it is, but it's close enough to the camel that I think that'll look better than the white, right? Yep. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. And then I'll make sure if it doesn't fit exactly right on my card base, trim it, because Michael's cardstock is not ever exactly 8.5 by 11, ever. But it's what's easy to access for me, for my card bases, and affordable. Okay, so I'm going to trim that slight little edge off. There we go. Sentence. I cleaned up my other paper trimmer, my other guillotine, but now I got to clean up this one. Run some foil through it to sharpen it up a bit. because I did quite a bit of cutting with the little mini notebooks I made. I did quite a bit of cutting. Like, I really didn't know if I was going to get them done in time for her, but I did. Okay, so now let me make sure it's opening in the right direction. Not that Yvette would ever place it in the wrong direction. Oh, that looks so pretty. All right. Now, do I want to pop this up? I just might. I think I do. Foam tape. How are we doing on time, you guys? We have a few minutes left. All right. Actually, this one, I'm going to pop up on this one. This is a piece of scrap foam tape I had left. So try and use up any bits that I have on the side before I cut more into my roll. But I'm going to like double it up. I'm going to pop up both layers. Give it a lot of dimension. Lots and lots. Oh, hi, Jeanette. How are you, my friend? Hi, Gwen. How are you? If I missed anyone, sorry again. I'm so not great at see you Wednesday, my friend, at checking the chat. I'm doing better, but still, I there's always room for improvement. Always. All right, so then this one, go here. I've always had that mindset for myself anyway, that there's always room for improvement because no one is perfect. As much as I would like to be, I am not. So I have to keep that in my head that I can always improve upon what I am doing, whether it be my personal life, my crafty life, whatever I'm doing. I can always improve. Okay, so I am going to stand up for this, guys, because I want to make sure I get it centered. Okay. Relatively centered. Okay. 9:59, so I want it to be done by 10. I'm so funny. I stamped 4 panels and I'm only going to get 1 done. But 1 is better than none. Hold on. Is my head in the way now? Okay. Now, if I could remember what I did with my embellishments. I think I have some in a box here. I want to see if I have anything brown. Nope. Boo-hoo. I do not. Okay, let me try one more place, guys. Thank you for your patience as I dig through my stuff. Dig, dig, dig. Okay, let me see. I might have, if I look through my not too shabby ones. I don't know. I don't know if I should add any. Should I add some enamel dots? Thank you, Vicky. You're so sweet. Hmm. Um, maybe not. Let me see these. Hmm. I could do those or nah, not those. What if like these? It's more like that camel color. I think I could bring some of those in. Yeah, I like it. So these were pink Christmas. These were the enamel dots. Pink Christmas from the Not Too Shabby shop. She has some really cute stuff. You got to see what's coming, guys. Oh, I can already wait for you to see the April. The April, um, I mean the May, the May Paper Pad Club, and the quarterly release that's coming up. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Okay, all right, guys, finished, finished, finished. Move that out of the way. All right, so I think I got all the colors in there, right? I got salmon pink, French rose, hunter green. I could have gone darker, but that's fine. Camel, kind of incorporated that, the dark brown. Oh yeah, camel's also on this layer. So I think it looks good. What do you guys think? Did I do it? Did I semi-match the color cube card? I think I did. Alrighty, friends. So I'll be back Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you, my friend. You guys are so sweet. Um, thank you. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do a color cube again. So I like the idea of pulling a Christmas one. So I'll see what I can find in there, and maybe I'll do that. But thank you so much for being here, you guys. I appreciate you, and we will see you on Wednesday afternoon. Have a great day. Bye.